You, you, you are my diamond. I know it's tough. You are my diamond in the rough. Diamonds are lumps of coal that stuck to the goal. Their mission is to shine through the darkest day. And you've already proven that you have the power to stay. That's why I fell in love this way. Diamond, you are so clear and so rare. I am often blinded by your glare. Diamond, you became this girl's best friend, the one on which I can depend. So before you go and shower me with earthly coal, or search the sea for a worthy enough element for me, know that you are my diamond. Can't you see? You are my diamond, and that's more than enough for me. You represent forever, infinity, and a day. And the love that we share, nothing, 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 not even time can take this love away. Hi, my name is Venus Jones, and welcome to the release of my latest poetry collection entitled Digital Love Letters. I got my partner in all the things divine, Stephen Jones here. He is my diamond. And we're going to be talking with you today about this project that we started a while back. I got Maya up here giving me a little string in the background. Ashe. And I just want to share with as many people who might be listening. Let me see if I make sure, Steve's also going to be helping me over here and make sure we get some people coming in. If you're here, don't feel free to let us know in the chat. We're broadcasting in 3 different places. And I just want you to know that I'm just happy that you're here, even if you catch this in the replay, because, that's just it. I got Steve a little teary-eyed there, I can tell.
I remember you reading that poem for my mom and my grandmother once after dinner at their house, and you had them both crying. So
yeah, it's a poem that I wrote because I'm a little hippie girl. I'm really kind of like a bohemian type. And I remember his dad, he thought I was like the typical old school lady who likes diamonds. When I was growing up, there was a term, a phrase that they would say, a diamond is a girl's best friend. And for me, that it wasn't really true, because I really would prefer, uh, gemstones that are polished in other ways. And but I also like what the diamond represents. So I wanted to find a way, a happy medium to talk about that without getting too political. But I think a lot. We're professional overthinking, but we're doing our best to try to keep this simple today. I'm going to share with you some why about why this project, but also why now. But if you are a lover of love in all its forms, if you like haiku, and if you are interested in learning more about Loving Day or promoting it, then this is the broadcast that you want to share with your friends and family. And if you like little heart talks, right? Because that's what this really is. It's a heart talk with you. And if you have any questions too about how to make love last, don't feel too shy. You can post it in the chat. So we've been married for 23 years. And 23 is one of our favorite numbers. You want to talk about it?
we celebrate March 23rd is our anniversary. That's when we got married.
Mm-hmm.
That's 323. This year was the 23rd anniversary. So 32323 was our 23rd anniversary. But we also, if we happen to catch the clock at 323.
Yes, we have a ritual, a daily ritual. that you can borrow, if there's a number that's important to you and that you see. And we do this. Oh, a little hug and a kiss. So I put that on one of my channels, and a lot of people were like, "Happy anniversary!" I was like, "No, it's not our anniversary. It's just like I was trying to explain it." But I guess in a way it could be if you wanted to see it as a daily anniversary. But anyway, I also decided to wear this picture of a camera today because like I said, technology has evolved. I never would have thought cameras would be on our phones, but that's what happened, and that's what this project is also about. The evolution of photography and love and pictures. So I want to go ahead and share in this stream a little bit here about our beginnings, our humble beginnings. Speaking of diamond, this is the first time I saw the diamond that Steve shared with me. Steve, you want to tell the story?
Yes, this was Venus and I had talked about getting engaged. We both wanted to move south. No offense to Ohio, but it gets a little cold there in the wintertime. So she made it quite clear that we needed to be pretty official before we moved to Florida. So I already had a diamond that I had bought for her and was trying to find the right time. I was thinking July 4th fireworks, do it. Well, that didn't work out. The next day it was July 5th. This was back in 1998.
Wow.
And we went to a place I knew well where there were just lots of rocks and stuff. We'd been there before. We liked to play on the rocks and stuff. And so set up the camera, and we're sitting there on this pile of limestone taking some pictures. And I said, we should hold some rocks in our hands. And Venus grabs some limestone and she holds it up. And I'm like, I'm sure there's a nicer rock than this around here. And she reaches underneath her and she feels the little felt case of the ring. And so she opened it up and she knew, and we took some pictures.
Yeah, and he has pictures of me crying on here and everything. So that was kind of a really amazing. I don't know if I've ever seen a better engagement than that. I feel it was really special because we have it just so many pictures of all of the different moments of it. And this was pre social media and everything, but it was just for that time, it was just beautiful. So thank you again for such a great engagement. I don't know. So I don't know if it can be beat, but that so we give thanks. So we got engaged in Ohio, and then Steve, what happened next?
Well, next we went to, and we're just learning how to do this navigation. We moved to Florida. Mm-hmm. We like that warm weather, so we moved there. And in 2000, once again, March 23rd, 2000, we got married on the beach. And so that's just a picture of us there. And we spent a long time in Florida.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we had a sunset wedding, and we spent a lot of time in Florida. But now we live in California, and we still miss our Florida family though, and our Ohio family. So we feel like both places are home. But speaking of home,
this kind of brings us to the whole project.
Yeah.
When Venus was recommended to get her master's degree at a college in California. Mm-hmm. So for that couple years, she was at Mills College much of the time. I was still at home in Florida. We saw each other whenever we could during breaks. We had some amazing spring break vacations, mm-hmm. and of course, she would spend the summers back in Florida. But there were sometimes well over a month we wouldn't be physically together.
Right, but as the saying goes, together in heart, maybe not in distance, but never apart. Or something like that. I think I just made that one up. But again, it's just this idea that does distance make the heart founder? I don't know. Not for everybody, but for us, it really did. We weren't separated, but a lot of people see us and think, oh, Stephen, and I say Steven is because his name is Steve with a PH, but when he puts his name together with mine, it's like perfect. It's like Steve Venus, right? But anyway, the point is when we were like living apart, but not necessarily separate, and not necessarily apart, if you know what I mean, because given what I just said, it was taxing though at the same time. And I don't know if we would have done it if it wasn't for done as well though, if it wasn't for technology. And I would think of I thought about playing Computer Love by Roger Troutman because he was definitely a visionary. I still remember when people meet. We have friends who got married and they met each other on Coffee Meets Bagel and everything. But I was like in different like apps. But when we was going all time, back in the day, we didn't really have those kind of things. But my point is that we came together at a time when it was different, right? People cherished love a lot more. And we didn't, when we were separate, it was taxing, even though we had been married for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say is that if you're going through a long distance relationship right now, just be grateful that you have technology. And 3 tips that I wanted to share, for being in a long distance relationship is just that what Steve just said, scheduling time to have a quality vacation, right? What's another tip you think?
I mean, quality time in general. I remember when I used to talk to people when Venus was all the way across the country. And I would say, we probably have more quality time now than we had when she was at home because we actually make time for conversation. If in your day-to-day lives, when you're living with someone, you may not do that. You may not talk about your days. And
you may take them for granted because they're like there in the physical. So it definitely helps to schedule time because sometimes you have to, right? And so we did that, and we haven't lost track of that good habit because we can get busy, not like unlike you, we can get really, really busy, and sometimes it might feel weird that you have to schedule time with a loved one, but it's important. And we had some really quality vacations. It's true because we made the time. Also, I think writing letters and notes is something you've always done though. Even more than me. Like he would write little love notes when he was courting me, right? He would write little love notes at different places, even on my car, or like I would find things like that. Remember?
Yeah.
And or even in the house when we first started living together, I would find little love notes. So
remember your old life? What you called your life back before everybody had smartphones. Busy people would carry a little day planner, a personal book with a calendar, all their contacts. You actually had to copy stuff over year to year. It was very, very primitive compared to what we have today. But I remember going through the calendar and I would sometimes just put in future days, like some love note, that she would just stumble across.
Yes. And so writing little special notes like that can still be nice. Or, sometimes people do a text in the middle of the day. So we think that that's nice. And that's another great tip is continue to write love notes and love letters about reminding people what you love about them and scheduling quality time. And the third tip I would say is for in a long distance relationship is really don't tell anybody that you're in a long distance relationship. I think that's one of the things, because I didn't tell anybody. Y'all just now finding out. I didn't tell anybody really like that. Not too many people, because even though we seem pretty public with our relationship right now in this moment, I think sometimes the more people you let in, the more cynical and more views can cloud the mind. It can create more fears because a lot of people live in fear, and it takes practice, pieces of practice, and I think even as someone who studied communication like myself, I know that trying to explain certain things to others who may not understand, this can be difficult and they still may not get it. But obviously, true love is a very powerful thing, which is what this project is all about. So without any further ado, I want to share more in this PowerPoint. And what else do you have?
Let's bring it back up. And um,
one thing I want to say before I forget is that tomorrow is Loving Day. And we haven't really talked about that, but we decided to release this on Loving Day because tomorrow it celebrates the 56th anniversary of Loving versus Virginia, which is a Supreme Court decision that made what you see here in the image of love. It made us, or Stephen and I, it made us legal, if you will, because we can marry anyone of our choice. And I'm not necessarily pro any type of thing except for love. And if it's real and if it's true, that's what I'm pro. And I just feel like I'm also pro liberation and freedom. And if you don't agree in marrying certain people, I think that's fine. But I don't think it's a good thing to try to limit other people and try to limit love, especially between consenting adults. Although, why now? We chose to launch this project right now too, because I don't know if you know it or not. But we're living in some peculiar times. There are some people who are trying to roll back, and specifically in Tennessee. Just a few months ago, there has been some disturbing laws passed, or a law that was passed, or a bill that was passed that said that you don't have someone could say, no, I'm not marrying, or trying to outlaw equal marriage, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was already legal for wedding officiants to not marry people they didn't believe in, but now it's even public officials can
right
object, and that includes interracial marriage.
right.
Yeah.
So we felt like this is a time for us to also show the promotion of things that we value, and remind people that yes, there are some people who marry for other reasons, and maybe not for all the right reasons, no matter their hue, color, or creed. But we do think that it's important to not tell someone or try to discriminate against a specific love, I think, that looks a certain way.
And that's what Loving Day is all about.
That's what it's all about. And what's so funny is that the couple, this serendipitous thing about it is that their last name was Loving. And we give thanks for the fight of Mildred and Mr. Loving, Richard Loving, because it's why we're here. It's one of the reasons why we exist. So in this picture that Steve wants to post one more time, in this flyer, you see the term or the phrase that T'Challa Bryant came up with so beautifully: existence is evolution. And that's kind of what it means. Is that the fact that Steve and I exist means that there has been some level of human evolution there when it comes to us seeing love for what it really is, which is a limitless thing.
Yeah. And this is basically, it's a short film project that's based on the haiku poetry that Venus wrote.
Yes.
For all these different, I mean, we happened to be using FaceTime when we would talk. And so we would each take these screenshots of us during those calls, and Venus wrote haikus for many of those.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
And so I want to go ahead and if you can pull up what inspired it, I'll read some of the poems to you, if that's okay.
Yes.
And we'll go into a little bit of a poetry reading right now. And then we'll come back and say special thanks.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I want to go to the actual page. If you haven't had a chance to visit it just yet, I'll share it with you. It is venusjones.com/digital love letters.
I'm gonna pop it in the chat.
Yeah, he'll pop it in the chat for you.
Okay.
And I'm going to click on it myself so that you can see it. And what I want to do also, though, is I want to go ahead and go there now. If you want to go there with me, you can. And I'll read some poems for you from the collection. So again, Digital Love Letters chronicles the emotional highs and lows of living apart from a loved one. And a lot of us in the pandemic even experienced that. And it allows us to reflect on the impact of communication in the digital age. I love hearing what resonates with you, and let me know if there's an image and or poem that's your favorite, and why. And do you have a similar image or story yourself of how technology bridged the gap or helped you stay in touch? So happy loving day every day, and love wins. Remember that. I'm going to start. Here we go. Ready, Steve? Okay. I'll read this.
Yeah, you can start reading.
All right. Let me see. Connection lost. Venus Jones. As you can see that at the top for anyone who might be listening with visual impairment. And then we have like an image of a FaceTime image right here because it's an iPhone. And we started clicking these a lot. Like, I don't know if you even knew that you could do that, but now you know. Like you can take pictures of the picture of while you're like in the conversation. So the first one, you can see Steve like doing his eyes like that. I don't know how you do that one. But like looking confused. I have a rested confused face, so I can do the same a lot. Maybe not as good as that. But it says here, I'll start. Disconnected. Following your dreams can leave you disconnected. Just trust the progress or the process. Milling around. Let's tour the campus. Let me be your guide to Mills. Maybe you can visit. And you can see a picture of me milling around Mills campus as Steve looks on in his little corner of the screen. My Oakland postcard. Look for my postcard in Digital Love Letters. It's only 2 years. You can see me looking and showing a postcard to Steve. Breaking Up is the title of this next poem. Can you hear me now? No. I said, you're breaking up. We're not breaking up. And who hasn't experienced that, right? This idea of, hello, are you there? Praying hands. His image pops up. Hands in prayer cover my mouth. I say, oh, I love you. And melodramatic. Let me see your face. Time to count the days, he says. It's been 2 weeks now. And I want to go ahead and maybe recite one more.
Which one?
Maybe I want to recite the ones closer to the end. And for the sake of time, because I said I only wanted to do this broadcast for like maybe a few more minutes, but or do you think I should read them all?
You don't have to read all of them. You can let people go read some.
Yeah.
I'm sharing the screen so they can see.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'll go back up. I'll read them all. I'll just read them all. It's not that many. It's only like what, maybe 30. Melodramatic. This is something that we have this thing called Melodramatic Mondays. So that you can see my face looking like a cartoon character every Monday sometimes. Melodramatic. Let me see your face. Time to count the days. He says, it's been 2 weeks now. So I do like that one. So I had to read it twice. Beating myself up. How are you doing? I've been beating myself up. What was I thinking? Speaking of cartoon characters, you can see me punching myself a little bit, but it's exaggerated. Separation anxiety. Going back to school was just a dream at one time. Now it's a nightmare. How many have experienced that where you're like, man, what was I thinking? And then you go into anxiety a little bit. You got a fuzzy picture here, and we used it to our advantage with this poem. Um, Steve sent me this image, and I was like, oh, I called it You See Me Clearly. It's all a blur, except when I talk to you. You see me clearly. Window blinds. Have you ever done this with a loved one? Have them show the picture of where they are and you show a picture where you are? Well, that inspired this one. Window blinds. Looking through blinds. Do you see what I see? We're under one sky. And isn't that true? Mm-hmm. Every day. We're really all in the same place, aren't we? Mother Earth. Plug in. Who hasn't been in this experience? Your phone is dying or the battery is almost dead, so I had to commemorate it with a poem. Plug in. My phone is dying. Long distance can take a toll. If you don't, plug in. Now this one is called Solid as a Rock. And again, as you saw earlier in this post, or this vlog, Stephen and I got married on the rocks because, again, his family was in construction. It's one of our favorite songs, Solid as a Rock. Solid as a rock. Anyway, Ashford and Simpson. Solid as a Rock is the title of this poem. Our love is awesome. It's solid as a rock. See you tomorrow. And you can see an image of a rock that has the word awesome on it. And I'm pointing it to the camera for anyone who's listening and wants to know what it looks like. Finals week. Now you don't really want to see what this one looks like. I'm actually kind of ashamed that I put this. I should be ashamed, but anyway. But actually, I'm shameless, so I'm shaming my family. But anyway, this is called Finals week, and I have I'm like sniffing my under armpit, and I said, I don't smell good. I don't smell too good. It's finals week over here. No time to shower. Again, the humor comes out. Time conflicts. What time is it now? I wish you were Pacific. I'm 3 hours late. Restless. I feel restless now, looking forward to the end. I wish I could quit. Pill for the pain. I'm yawning in class. You are my pill for the pain. I can't get too bored. Brushing up. Time to brush my teeth. Good night, early riser. Let's keep our smiles bright. Pucker up. Give me a kiss, boy. I want to feel the warm screen on my lips tonight. Top secret. When will you visit me? Before we had a real date, I hate not knowing. Wifey's wifey. Oh, wifey's Wi-Fi wins. We telecommute. This is a strong connection. Wifey's Wi-Fi wins. Speechless. Hello, are you there? I'm untangling headphones. It's taking too long. Main muse. He reads my poetry and wonders who inspired it. He's my main muse. Solution. I miss snuggling. He has the antidote, a pillow with one arm. Oh, gosh. Ask us about that later. Steve sent me a blow-up doll, y'all. Oh, God.
It wasn't a blow-up doll.
It was a damn blow-up doll. Well, it's a blow-up male doll, I guess. I don't know. Got it. It had like
it was a pillow.
It was a pillow that had an arm on it. And it was like in a blue collar shirt, which was just, I couldn't believe he even sent me that. But anyway. Funny, right? Breakfast, or I said break fast is the title of this one. There's a break coming soon. Then we can have a real toast. Here's to vacations. Loving light. The moon seems so far. It is still a loving light. Crescent moon and star. Trust. It crosses my mind. Sometimes I ask, where were you? Then he shows me. Trust. Saint Stephen. He grabs the good book, just like a politician. And I laugh so hard. Honor roll. I made honor roll A man of honor is proud. We're both honorable. If you're facing it, our hearts grew fonder. Quality time did save us. Quality FaceTime. True love. You can live separate. You can still go together when you have true love. So I want to now share special thanks and come to a close on this presentation, Steve, if you're okay with that.
Yes.
All right. I'm imagining the applause and thank you for watching. So a special thanks. I did not do this alone. A special thanks goes to the Institute of Contemporary Art and to Chaya Bryant, who made an amazing video that you don't want to miss tomorrow night. Special shout out to the other couples that starred in it. We have a local international human rights activist. Derek Sanderlin is one of our stars, as well as other people like even his own daughter, his baby daughter, Adora, is in there, and she is adorable. And I want to give a shout out to all those who wanted to be a part of the film but couldn't because of whatever reason. I love you. Thank you for trying. And maybe you didn't meet the deadline, but that's okay. It's done. To Chaya Bryant, love you so much for making this release so much more special. I want to give a shout out to Christina Tallman at Argiopi Studio, and Mildred and Richard Loving, of course, because if it wasn't for them, Stephen and I would not be able to have such a loving expression of our love that we want to share with you, and hopefully it touches someone's heart. So all my patrons and supporters, you are so loved, super loved, and I thank you too. You know who you are. And last but not least, well, I gotta thank this one, Steve. Oh. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Check out my collection of digital love letters again if you are wanting to check it out and spend more time with it. It can be found at venusjones.com, digital love letters. And for the visually impaired, we have great alternate text for you.
Yes.
Become a patron today. Patreon.com, Venus Jones, Venus Love Jones, because love is my middle name. And follow me at Linktree, link.tree/Venus Love Jones for all other things that I think you might be interested in that really are about art as activism or me waging peace through poetry. Because I really am doing my best every day to remind you to do just whatever it is that will give you inner peace. And when you have inner peace, there'll be more peace in the world. So without any further ado, I'm going to end the way that I always do with saying, keep looking up and keep looking out. Because when we do, there's a lot less fear and a lot less doubt. Happy Loving Day 2023 from me and Steve.
Stepheness.
We love you.
Good job.
Love yourself.